Hello, Coach. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful. Hopefully the internet is kind to us today. Thank you so much for taking the time, and we will go ahead and get started with Brian Sandalo from the Chicago Sun-Times.
Hi, Ezra. Thanks for making some time for us this afternoon. I was just wondering, hi, Ezra, if there's any update on Espinoza, Jimenez, Ivanov, Shabilko, if he'll be available, and also Brian Gutierrez.
Available. Shabelka is available. And some injuries, so they're questionable, but the others will be fine. Gaston, he's also questionable with a slight hamstring. So it's still early in the week. Next couple of days, I'll know better.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will go with Patrick McCraney from Shigo Sports.
Hey, Ezra, what's it been like dealing with the injury to Jairo Torres' hip that he had when he came here from Atlas? And I know that you guys have taken a really kind of slower long-term approach on getting him right. How far along is he right now?
Well, it's very disturbing for us because he's a that team, but it's just been impossible for us to get him on the pitch for an extended period of time. We've gradually increased his minutes, and he's a position now where he's ready to play. Fitness permitting, as far as his physical fitness, because he hasn't played full 90 in a long time. So, but he's available to play full on now. We were very cautious with that, but we're at the point now where we think he's ready to go from the start. He's a very good player. He shows it every time he came on with it for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever have you. He showed his, and that's something that because we're in a position now where we need to get our best players on the pitch so we could continue this momentum and get above that playoff line.
Thank you. Next, we will go with Jeremy Mikula from the Chicago Tribune.
Hi, Ezra. Thank you for your time. The club recently announced that you'll have a couple of games being played in SeatGeek Stadium, like September, October. So it's still a way off, but is it any kind of an inconvenience to have to switch your home stadium at the end of the season when probably going to be playing some of your most important games?
Yeah, definitely. I think whenever there's a change like that, it can throw you off, but at this point, we can't really worry about those things. We just have to play wherever the game is. So Soldier Field has become somewhat of a fortress for us. We were very comfortable there when we play our home games. So it'll be a little change, but we have to go on the road and win games in other cities. So it doesn't really matter where we play right now. The focus is always going to be on getting 3 points, and that's something that we can't lose sight of. Regardless of where it is that the game has been played.
Thank you. We will go back to Brian Sandalo.
Yeah, Ezra. On Saturday, the Fire hosting a doubleheader with the Red Stars. What do you think the importance of that is for soccer in the city, for the two clubs to have a good working relationship, and for the Fire to promote the Red Stars?
Well, I think it's a great idea. I think both clubs benefit from it. There will be lots of fans. Their fans. Together with our fans, so it'd be a great atmosphere if we can somehow combine and have both sets of fans come to both games when we're not playing at the same time. That would be great. I think the fans will be up for a very, very good afternoon of soccer. Good 3 hours of soccer. And I think for the city, it's good to showcase both teams on a similar stage, on a similar date, on the same night. So I think it bodes well for all involved. They're going to benefit as well as we are. So I'm all for it, and I'm looking forward to Saturday night. I think it'll be a great atmosphere for the fans.
Thank you. Next up, Patrick McCraney.
Ezra, you're past the halfway point now in your first season in charge. What would you say is the biggest thing that you've learned or the biggest thing that surprised you about being a head coach in this league?
Oh, wow. I've had many of learning experiences, be it the Open Cup game. I think maybe not so much player selection because we played who we had, but maybe in-game substitution in that game probably came a little later than I should have made them. So that's something that I look back at and I think about. But at the time, I was worried about, if it went into overtime, exerting too much energy on the guys that we have because we didn't really have a full squad at the time. So I was worried about putting guys in too soon just in case it went into overtime. So that's probably, if I look back at that, that was a big learning experience for me where if I had to do that over again, I'll just play the guys. And if they end up having to play 120 minutes, then so be it. So that's one thing I learned. Other things, there's some games that, let slip away from us. And I take responsibility from that, whenever we don't close games out. I talk about the New York Red Bull games away, the Toronto game away, when we don't finish out games like those, I look at myself and I said, okay, what could I have done differently? And again, maybe substitution sooner might have, changed those games. At the end of the day, I put the players out on the pitch, and if the players make mistakes that cost us the game, that reflects on me. Did I have the right player in the right position? Did I give the players the right, put them in the right, position to succeed? So I take blame on some of these things. So I learned from those things. I promise to make sure that things are done better. That we won't go through those things again. And we've improved somewhat, but we're a team that's growing. And when I took this job, one of the things I said was there will be growing pains. And I as a first year coach, have gone through some of those growing pains with the team as a whole, as far as some of my decision making. But we're still learning. We're continuing to grow as a team. I think we've grown, we've progressed a lot further along than most probably expected. But when I look at what transpired in the Columbus game and how the team was able to respond since, that to me shows a lot of growth in the team because it was very easy for that team after that game, losing that game in that manner at home, to just, pack it in and say, you know what, we've tried everything. We've been leading teams with a minute to go and tied games. We've outshot, outpossessed teams the entire game and lose games. And so it was easy for the team to really say, you know what, it's just not working. But these guys really responded from that game. We came out in that Toronto game and just really jumped on them from the start. Got a goal in the first 5 minutes. And for me, that shows a growth of a team. And we've since, continued to grow and continued with that momentum. So we're not there yet. Even in the last game in Vancouver, we had moments, the last 2 minutes of that first half, which, we're not going to survive, too many of those type of errors that we created, or we caused by ourselves towards the end of that first half. But we came in at halftime, we talked about it, and even when they came and tied it up, we didn't waver. We knew, that this was our game. We were in control of the game and we weren't going to lose it. Even though we were on the road, and we finished out that game. So that shows me a lot that the players have really bought into what it is that we're doing, and we're on a good streak right now, and we just want to continue that. And we've always said that Soldier Field will be a fortress, and Atlanta is a team that, of all the games, when we look back as a team, and the players are well aware of it, it's the one game that we thought got away from us, from the start. Yes, they caught us a little shorthanded. We didn't have, 4 or 5 stars at the time due to suspensions or injuries or what have you. And we're not the same team that we were then. But it's a game that we look back on and we said, listen, if there's one game that we never really was in it, it was that game. And we wanted to make amends to our fans, to ourselves, and just continue on this momentum. So Saturday, we're really going to be prepared for this game for several reasons, but mainly just to continue to grow as a team.
Thank you. Next, we will go with Hernan Espinosa from En Exclusiva magazine.
Hey, Ursula, thank you for taking time for us. My question is, in the last press conference after the game, you mentioned some of your players like Chicos or Shakir were not in the MLS All-Stars, which is almost in a couple of weeks ago. What do you think any of the players of the Chicago Fire, like Gaga, Shakiri, or Chicos, have not been called up to the MLS All-Stars, or maybe because of the results of the whole team at all? I want your opinion about that. Thank you.
Come when the team is successful, and we started off the year pretty decent, but we went into a 10-game spell there where it wasn't good enough. We weren't winning games, and I think maybe that was a deterrent. I'm not really sure, but when you look at the overall as of now, speaking as of now, I would expect Gaga having the second most clean sheets for goalkeepers in the league right now. I would expect Shields, leading us in scoring as our captain or leader, who's really a big part, along with Shaq, of the leaders of this. In scoring, I think he should be going to look at as far as being an all-star. And Shaq, when you want to show a good representation of the MLS in this league versus a La Liga all-star, you have to include someone like Shakir in it, because he's that caliber of a player. He's that type of a player, and he has 8 or 9 assists for us, and he's been a leader, on and off the field for this team. So I think guys like those, should get the opportunity to be in this All-Star game to properly showcase the league and who are the stars in the league, and who are the guys who are carrying the teams, because these 3 guys, have been very, very instrumental in what's going on with the Chicago Fire right now. So that was my point about that whole thing, because I don't see how they cannot be.
Thank you. We will go last question with Larry Hawley from WGN.
Hi, Ezra. Since you guys had that second half trouble against Columbus and lost that game, you've won 3 straight matches. What do you attribute the team being able to bounce back from that to not only pick up 1 win, but to get 3 wins in a row over the last couple of weeks? What about the group has helped them to rally behind that and come back here and have one of the more successful stretches the club's had in a while?
Well, I think a couple of things. I think that confidence, that self-belief that this team has shown, because the guys are very aware that, yes, we have lost a lot of games. Yes, we didn't finish some games out. But like I said earlier, apart from that Atlanta game, we were in every other game. We felt like we could, 1-0 game on a phantom PK call for them at their place. So that, you're that close, that confidence, it's easy to have, confidence and belief in what it is that we're doing. Had we been getting blown out, 3-4-0 every game, it would have been easy to really tank the season after that Columbus game. But I think that confidence and that belief in themselves and in the team, what we're doing as a staff, was very key, very important on not, tanking on the season and being able to rebound like that against Toronto. And secondly, we had our normal reflection meeting after that game, and we sat down, we talked, and it was an open forum. What can we do as a team to change this bad luck, so to speak, that we were having? How are we, losing games that we should tie and tying games that we should win? How change that? What as far as starting lineup, but more so it was just bonding together and saying, what, stops. There's no way we could be at home, MLS championship, and let up in that last 27 to 30 minutes like that. That's never going to happen again. We're going to change this season around. And some guys, like Shaqiri spoke up, and I think the guy, it resonated, what he had to say resonated with the guys. And that's all about whether you're a starter or you're coming in, you have to have that mentality of it's a team and we're going to win as a team. We can't be upset because we didn't start. We got to come on, even if it's for 5-10 minutes, and give your all to make sure that we close games out, because too many games we let go by the wayside. Too many times we created so many chances, even on the road, to go up on teams 2-3 nothing, and and just miss chances, and that was killing us. So I think from that meeting, and with the confidence that it's possible for us to come back and be and save the season, so to speak, I think both of those situations helped us. And coming out against Toronto like that and going up early in the 4th minute, further, still we were able to do nothing and finish that game, because that game also we went into the half 2-0, but we weren't going to let what happened the Saturday before happen again. So I think it's just a collective of just the confidence within the team, and just knowing that we weren't getting blown out in games. We were just shooting ourselves in the foot, so to speak. And as soon as we changed that and started to finish games out, from player 1 to player 16, whoever entered the game, we would be fine. And I think that has helped us. And it's and we know, and we told them, I have a lot of players guys on my staff who's either played in the league or who's been involved in the league for some time now, and we were able to collectively assure that, listen, when you three us, it has happened, and we're here now, and we just want to stay here, and we're just going to continue to climb the table and get ourselves where we think where we know that we belong, and that's above the playoff line.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Coach, for taking the time. We really appreciate it. And for everyone else, please hold on, and we'll have midfielder Mauricio Pineda up next.
We are all set.
Great. Mauricio, can you hear me?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. We will start right away with Patrick McCraney from Shigo Sports.
Hey, Mari, I had a interesting discovery yesterday. I was looking at your stats this season when you're out there. And when you play more than 45 minutes, the Fire are picking up 1.53 points per game, 5 wins, 5 draws, and only 3 losses. When you play 45 or less, 2 wins, 0 draws, 7 losses, 0.67 points per game. How does that make you feel to know that you're having such a big impact on the team?
Yeah, that's an interesting stat. I think it's obviously a great feeling. I think anytime I'm on my feet or on the field, I try to do as much as possible to help the team. say that's necessarily all just because of me. Obviously, some results go one way or another, whether I'm on the field or not. But yeah, anytime I get the chance to be on the field, I try to do as much as possible to get first 3 points. That's the most important. But yeah, just to pick up as many points.
Thank you. Next, we will go with Brian Sandalo from the Chicago Sun-Times.
Hi, Maury. I don't have any stats like Patrick, so I apologize in advance. Just how is you guys have had so many ups and downs this season? It's been a roller coaster, basically. How have you guys stayed steady and calm through all of it? Or have you guys even stayed calm through all of this? Basically, I'm asking how have you guys stayed steady through this entire season?
Brian, if you don't mind asking that question again, we cut out for a second.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. How have the players stayed steady and calm through a roller coaster season with a lot of ups and downs?
Should I answer? Sorry, you're still cutting out partially, but
okay.
I think the important thing for us is just I think the performances that we've been putting out in games for the most part have been really positive. It's really difficult to keep going like that when you're performing really well and some results just don't go. And coming out from some of these games, you come out with a positive mentality, stay positive as a team because we are doing some things right. So I think that's something that's keeping us together. That's helped us out a lot. And like you said, get through some of these games that have been really difficult to get through. But yeah, like I said, just sticking to the game plan that we're all trying to build and to our ability.
Thank you. Next, we will go with Larry Hawley from WGN.
Good afternoon. We just talked to Ezra, and I asked him about what the team has done to be able to rebound from that Columbus loss and have a 3-game winning streak. And he mentioned a meeting the team had after the Columbus loss. What do you remember about that, and how much did that maybe galvanize you guys now to have this nice stretch of winning here the last week or two?
Yeah, I think it's important to reflect after certain games like that, whether it's a win or a loss. Sometimes you just need to reflect as a team, say some things that need to be said. And I think we agreed as a group that I think everyone on the team can do a little bit more. So I think after that game, we agreed that we have to self-reflect more than anything, and see if we're really doing everything possible for the team to come out on top after every game, and doing that in every training session, every game, obviously, and everything that you're doing to prepare for training every day. So I think that's something that was really important that needed to be said and needed to be talked about. And luckily it's something that worked. Some of those things don't always work if you don't take it seriously and put it into action in training and in games, like I said. But I think the team took that really well and has shown some more positive moments since that game.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we will go last question with with Hernan Espinoza from En Exclusiva Magazine.
Elizabeth, ¿puedo preguntar en español?
Mauri?
Of course.
Gracias. Gracias, Mauricio. Quiero saber tu opinión acerca de los aficionados que están siguiendo al Fire, que están apoyándolos. Si bien el mes pasado hubo asistencia a otros partidos, también vinieron y apoyaron al Fire, y que están entusiasmados a lo que se viene este partido el día sábado y a los puntos que han conseguido 3 victorias seguidas. ¿Qué les dirías a ellos para que puedan venir y seguir apoyando a Chicago
Sí,
Fire
creo que
este sábado?
es lo bueno de la afición de Chicago en el momento, aunque en unos partidos no salen los resultados en nuestro favor, pero siempre la afición está allí apoyándonos y esperamos que este fin de semana también estén allí, les podemos dar un buen partido y ojalá salgamos con 3 puntos.
Now let's do that same question in English. Yeah, I'll ask you the question. What would you say to fans? They've come out over the last month, several months, and maybe they've gone to other games, but they've really come out to support the team. So what message do you have for the fans?
Yeah, I think, like I said before, we're just really grateful for the fans that have been there sticking with us through the tough times. I know there's been a lot of disappointing games at home, but they've really been there through it all. So yeah, we're excited for a home game after this winning streak, and excited to get back at home with our fans and hopefully get to 3 points.
Thank you so much, Marty. We really appreciate you taking the time.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
And thank you everyone for joining us today. We'll see you all on Saturday.